This video features high-end, limited edition collectibles and is intended for adult collectors. Hey guys, welcome to Toy Chat. This is Max.
And Sang.
For the first time in a while, we'll be reviewing another collectible figure from Hot Toys, the Spider Armor Mark IV Suit edition of Spider-Man. If you're new to the world of Hot Toys, links to our previous reviews and the company's official website will be in the description below. Although 2020 was pretty barren of new releases and resulted in the delay of several toys, movies, and shows, this year has been a pretty exciting time to be a Marvel fan. The first Disney Plus original series within the MCU debuted January 15th with Wandavision. And if you're anything like Sang and I, you spent many of the past several weeks obsessed with the Scarlet Witch and her dark, mysterious sitcom world. Hot Toys officially debuted pre-order listings and images of both Wanda in her all-new Scarlet Witch costume and Vision, as they both appear in the Disney Plus series. For some of our first impressions thoughts on these two, stay tuned to the end of the video. There is some speculation Wanda Maximoff will be appearing in Spider-Man 3, now confirmed to be titled No Way Home. Please, Marvel, make this multiverse goodness canon already. Back on the subject of Spidey, although this figure is listed as inspired by the massively successful Marvel's Spider-Man video game, the Spider Armor Mark IV costume has comic origins dating back a bit further. First appearing in Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, Issue 1 in 2015, the suit was created at Parker Industries after it became a worldwide technology corporation. The Mark IV is said to be Peter's most technologically advanced and powerful costume, made of metallic liquid nanotech that can respond to mental and voice commands while providing Spider-Man with defensive damage absorption. That's represented in this figure's gorgeous luminescent-reflective feature, giving the suit a pearly sheen and dramatically altering its appearance under the included LED light stand. We'll take a good close look at that, plus all his other accessories in this review, so keep on watching.
This Spider Armor Mark IV figure can be purchased from Sideshow Collectibles online, priced at $255. Link to purchase will be included in the video description. Jumping straight into the packaging, this box is a tad slimmer than other Hot Toys we've seen. Artwork of Spider-Man in a web-slinging pose is displayed over the box front, with a backdrop of all red on the left and a blue hue landscape on the right. The iconic spider emblem decorates the left-hand side, continuing the same coloration. The back of the box shows the same emblem at the top, above product and warning information. Like most Hot Toys collectibles, this figure is recommended for ages 15 and up. The right side of the box is especially eye-catching, featuring a full comic panel-style collage of Spidey in his Mark IV suit.
If you prefer to keep your Hot Toys in box, this one has a winged door flap allowing for a full window display of the figure inside. The interior of the flap also lists designer credits, which, as usual for Hot Toys, there are many. But, of course, for this review, we'll be unboxing this guy in full. The plastic dome containing the main piece and his accessories is easy to slide out, but be wary of the fact there are multiple layers of plastic here, and the back portion with his stand pieces can be pulled outward and separated. We recommend unboxing Hot Toys carefully over a level table and not elevated or over a floor where things can fall or break. The instruction booklet is taped to the bottom of the dome, and we highly recommend giving that a thorough read-through before playing with any Hot Toys product. We can see Spidey is packaged delicately with plastic and styrofoam inserts housing his accessory pieces, so let's take everything out and get a closer look.
Here we have Spider-Man fully unboxed, starting with his famously web pattern mask. The headpiece shares the same shiny luminescence as the rest of his suit. Like many Hot Toys, the head is easily removable, but this figure does not come with any alternate heads. He does, however, come with 2 pairs of alternate eyepieces. The eyes are extremely simple to swap just by pressing down on the top outer edge and pulling out the opposite end. These pieces attach magnetically, so you can just slide the new ones right in. The alternate eyes allow for narrowed and more dramatic expressions. There's a slight blue luminosity to the lens and a textured back lining. The head's articulation allows for a full 360 horizontal movement, but vertical tilt is pretty limited. Sideways tilt isn't much of an option either.
When I first looked at this figure's promos, I did not think he'd be that shiny in person, but wow, I was wrong. This suit straight up sparkles up close. There's a nice variation of textures from the get-go, starting with the spider emblem on his chest. It seems to be made of a high-grade plastic, maybe something more durable, extending outward in a diamond shape at the spider's abdomen. The candy apple red and royal blue suit itself is a visual marvel. No pun intended. As the product description promised, it definitely gives off a metallic vibrance that shifts with the lighting conditions. If you look closely, you can see the octagonal patterning that reveals itself more brightly under LED. The suit has a skin-tight fit, showing off plenty of Spidey's muscle definition on the sculpt beneath it. Across his back, we can see another circular spider icon, this time in a matte metallic red. It's very smooth to the touch. In terms of torso articulation, Spider-Man's arms can be posed at the shoulders and elbows. I have to admit, I'm concerned about the potential for wear and tear of this suit. I'm already noticing a bit of what look like permanent crease marks by his elbow. It's a bit unsettling how much the suit bunches around the armpit when you try to move his full arm straight upwards. Movement in that direction actually feels very limited. It seems as though the intent is to pull his arm 90 degrees outwards and reposition at the elbow, whatever pose you'd like from there. Because the straight upwards positioning feels restrictive, I am a little curious how some of these promo poses were achieved. The hands are very well articulated and can be easily moved in almost all directions. We'll discuss them a bit more later. Spider butt, spider butt. All right, anyway, let's move on to his legs.
Spider-Man's suit continues seamlessly right down to his feet. Luckily, the fabric seems to be a bit more forgiving down here, as he's extremely posable at the thighs and knees. Look how far back that calf can go. The foot has their own points of articulation, both at the ankles and the toes. You can not only twist and tilt the full foot, but position the toes up and downwards for better balance. Despite coming with a display stand, Spidey stands very well on his own. The soles of his feet have metallic plating at the bottom with both Marvel and Hot Toys inscriptions. Now let's check out this slew of accessories. Firstly, Spider-Man comes with 7 different web effect pieces and a total of 10 different swappable hands. Collectively, they offer various options for clutch fists, grasping, and web slinger posing. A gentle twist and tug easily remove the current hand, and you can secure the new one in the joint peg. Around both of Spider-Man's wrists, you'll see small web shooter attachments. The web effect pieces can be inserted inside. The swinging piece with bunch webbing is ideal to pair with the clutch fists, while the long, straight pieces goes nicely with the classic sling pose. The open spiderweb piece can be attached at the longer one's end for more dramatic effect. These look pretty cool, but because they're so thin, they're very delicate and easy to bend. Probably better to keep them inside the foam packaging while you're not using them.
Spidey's final accessory is his trusty spider drone. As cool as it is adorable, it shares the suit's metallic sheen, and all 8 legs are articulated to move backwards and forwards, but not up and down. Although he looks awesome posed on Spider-Man's arms and shoulders, do this at your own risk because the legs are pokey and Hot Toys costumes don't mix well with sharp objects. The display stand pieces come in the packaging's bottom plastic layer, and as with many other Hot Toys, it starts off with a large octagonal base, showcasing a matte Spider-Man logo. Once the rod is positioned inside, you can pop off the cap and insert the clasp over the top. It's possible to screw it into a fixed position, but I'm happy with it as is. If you happened to watch our Hot Toys Black Panther review, this stand comes with the exact same LED display pieces. We once again see two large styrofoam fixtures that can be placed inside a bottom plastic piece. These are all a bit flimsy and susceptible to damage, so use caution. Once both fixtures are plugged into the stand base, you can choose to operate the LED lights either via AAA batteries, which will require a Phillips screwdriver to pop in at the bottom, or power it with the included USB cord. Whichever option you choose will determine whether you set the power switch to on 1 or on 2. And from there, voila. Here we have the spider armor in action. Under these LED lights, the suit's octagonal pattern glows in a bright teal and white coloration. My favorite aspect of this feature is how you can play with different lighting conditions to varying effects. You can get this vivid glow-in-the-dark feel with the LED alone, but with some additional dim lighting, the usual red and blue pop through with some gorgeous tones of purple beneath the glowing octagons. Seriously, how badass does this look? Alright, so here are our final thoughts on Spider Armor Mark IV Spider-Man.
I'm always impressed by the level of detail of Hot Toys products. Even simpler design figures have a level of craftsmanship that's jaw-dropping. There's so much detail on this Spider-Man that you have to appreciate it up close. The costume is really something else. Gorgeous. Though I would be very careful posing him, I am concerned about tearing his costume at the seams. He comes with a lot to justify his asking price though, and the light-up stand is a great added accessory. He's definitely a figure you should display in your collection.
So, with the plethora of Spider-Man figures out there in Hot Toys and beyond, is this particular figure worth owning? I think that depends on what aspects or design of Spider-Man resonate most with you as a collector. For me, the Mark IV strikes a distinct aesthetic that blends photorealism with cartoonish fantasy, and I think that fits this character and his famous suit beautifully. I'll admit I'm a sucker for luminescence and metallics in general, but I love the Mark IV's design and that it stays true to Spidey's original debut costume while adding some sleek modern flair. I grew up watching the Tobey Maguire trilogy, so I've always had an affinity for the larger statement spider emblem versus the MCU's smaller iteration. This figure looks incredible and photographs gorgeously. The little unexpected limitations in his articulation, however, were disappointing. A character like Spider-Man should be among the most posable of Marvel's cast, but as I mentioned, it's hard to try anything too extreme when his costume looks like it bunches and creases at the joints. This guy will look impressive on any shelf regardless, and it's also nice to have a Hot Toys Spidey of larger size instead of the smaller Tom Holland versions. But again, those details will come down to personal preference. Before we go, let's circle back to those upcoming Wandavision figures. There's been some commentary among opposing sides of the community whether or not Wanda should have had rooted styled hair, as many previous female Hot Toys have. I definitely think, given the touzled look she had in the series, it would have been more fitting. There's also some mixed opinions on Vision's face sculpt, given it appears to be a recreation of his Age of Ultron version. Although I think the face sculpts are the biggest successes of these two. Overall, I think they look awesome and are a great love letter to WandaVision as a series, but Scarlet Witch's costume does look a little bulky in this scale.
I agree with everything that Max has stated about the WandaVision figures. Once they were available, I had to have them. It does seem though it's a missed opportunity to give Wanda real hair, but I understand they wanted to be more accurate. Molded long hair on figures, to me, seems more limiting in posability, but it is really great to have an MCU Wanda in her first official Scarlet Witch costume. And Vision is a nice addition to my collection too. I'm not huge on him, but they would make a great pair to display together.
Make sure to let us know your first impressions thoughts on the Wandavision figures and, of course, Mark IV Spidey in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Let us know what you want to see reviewed next on our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye.